see you.
Yeah.
Could you hear us?
Yes, I followed everything. Yes.
Oh,
yes.
fantastic. Okay.
Finally, I tried it with the tablet, and I think they got that I want to come to the meeting. Then it works.
Oh, okay.
I don't know, but question about 12, Nana. It's actually 12 is also about a turning point. Is a question. It's coming to a point where there is something to change, or there.
I think what you're saying, what I'm getting from you is that it's time. 12. When you get 12, it's saying you've been sitting on this thing long enough. You've been contemplating at this thing long. You've been sitting on it. You've been procrastinating. Now you're stuck in a rut, and it's time to get out of it. So yes, it's time to make a change when you get 12. You know, because we were talking about that earlier in terms of difference between 12 and 29. But in the 12th hexagram, it's just been going on so long. It's been, and they use stagnation, so we know that it takes a while for something to stagnate. Like, you know, if you leave out food, it doesn't go rotten right away. It has to sit there for a while before it begins to rot. And that's why it's called, that's how we can look at stagnation, that it didn't happen overnight. It takes a while for it to get to that point. A lot of times it comes up because there was opportunity to get yourself out of it, but you didn't. You know, there was opportunity to make a change. There was opportunity after opportunity, but you kind of just was so stuck in your rut that you just didn't move, or you weren't proactive enough to get yourself out of it. And then you still have to be careful, because with stagnation, you may want to get out of it, but you may use the wrong means and methods to get out. So have you been like mulling in your head about this license for some time now?
Oh, yes, I have, Nana. Yes, I have. And, you know, been had the paperwork a couple times and threw it away, and, you know, got it a couple weeks ago, not because I wanted to get it, but because I was in the area for something else. And so basically, and, but no, the oracle is perfect. The oracle is perfect because it's X-ray me. I know it's perfect because nothing else could. This is like an X-ray, an internal X-ray. And like you said, stagnated water. If you let the water set out, I mean, it has to set out for a while and before it becomes stagnated. And that's the thing. I mean, because once, you know, in this condition, it can lead to certain frustration.
It can. And the thing is that, you know, inside of the 12th hexagram is the self-saboteur. That self-saboteur lurks inside the 12th hexagram.
That is 100% perfect as well.
And the thing is, what the self-saboteur does is it does things, it just jumps up and it just makes you do stuff so that you fail. And what happens is you get that self-fulfilling prophecy, which says, see there, I knew that wasn't going to work out. And then you continue to stagnate. That's another indicator of the 12th hexagram, Alex, that little hidden dragon, that little hidden monster in the 12th hexagram that kind of upsets the apple cart, in the sense that it'll say, hey, you got to do this, hurry up, do this, because if you don't hurry up and do this right now, if you don't hurry up and make a change right now, you know, everything's going to go terrible. It's already bad, you know. So the oracle is inferring that there's the inner saboteur is in there, the self-saboteur. Because
what is it? I'm sorry, I don't understand this word.
Sabotage. You understand the word sabotage?
Sabotage. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So when you sabotage yourself, then I call that your inner saboteur.
Tahuti,
Yeah.
wait till you hear this. What the oracle said. I tossed the coin, and it's amazing what came back, and it's relevant to what you all talking about. Right?
Okay. Well, let me get this here, and then because I want to show it, and we're going to work on that one.
Wow.
All right.
That is deep.
So look at the third line. You got the third line here, and it says, inferior people who have risen to power illegitimately do not feel equal to the responsibility they have taken upon themselves. In their hearts, they begin to be ashamed, although at first they do not show it outwardly. This marks a turn for the better, okay? So the inferior entity inside the person or inside the situation has moved to a position of power, meaning that they're in control. So if your inferior person or your inferior aspect of your personality is procrastination, so then that's the inner saboteur. The inner saboteur procrastinates and procrastinates and procrastinates so that you don't get the thing done. Next thing you know, you're stagnating.
Mm.
You see how that works?
Yes.
So you have to work through that aspect, whatever part of it. It could be fear that sabotages you, that makes you stagnant, that keeps you from doing whatever it is. It could be, apprehension. It could be lack of security, that you don't feel secure. And since you're going to be selling your book, it could be that you have some reservations about how, about your book itself. You know what I mean? Will it sell? Maybe it will. That kind of thing. And so those are those little feelings that stop you from getting out there. And you said you wrote this book in 2008, so that's 8 years ago.
Yeah,
So
it's
what's stopping you from getting out there with this material? So you do this little inner search within yourself to see what that is. Now, basically, the oracle will answer you because the oracle knows that you're a neophyte and you're just getting started. So they will work with you knowing that what you're really trying to find out. And they will kind of circumvent the fact that you didn't ask the question in the most succinct way, a way that will help you get a really good understanding of what they're saying. So they're trying to just kind of get with you and just talk to you right where you are and bring you, further along in the process. Okay, so that's why we're looking at the hexagrams that you did get. They should not be discarded or dismissed. They're just as important as the other ones that we'll get this, today. Okay?
okay.
All right, now let's look at the fourth one. He who acts at the command of the highest remains without blame. Those of like mind partake of the blessing. The time of standstill is nearing the point of change into its opposite. That's what you were talking about, Alex. It's time for a change. Whoever wishes to restore order must feel himself called to the task and have the necessary authority. Now, what that means is that, say, for example, you have an addiction to alcohol and you've been doing really well, and you feel like I need to go out, I need to enjoy myself, I need to have a good time. But if you go out, you may find yourself in a situation that's going to pull you back into where you once were. So you have to follow your higher self and your higher guide or your inner authority and do what's necessary so that you don't end up sliding back. Okay, so you have the challenge ahead of you. Your buds is at the door. Hey, man, let's go, man. You're going to sit up how long come on, man, And you're like, no, I think I want to sit this one out. Oh, man, the whole thing that you go through. So a man who sets himself up as capable of creating order according to his own judgment could make mistakes and end in failure. So if you're not feeling strong enough in terms of this here whole thing, if you still have those underlying issues and concerns, and you're not feeling, you know, strong enough to step out there, then you may not be able to sustain yourself while you're out there. It's like, you know, you're ready to do the 50-mile, whatever it is, walk, but you haven't done the 10-mile walk yet. So you haven't done your exercises, you haven't worked out. So, you know, you can't do 50 miles, but you might be able to do 10 miles.
Mm-hmm.
You might be able to do 12 miles, but not the whole thing, you know. But a man who is truly called to the task is favored by the conditions of the time, and all those of like mind will share in his blessing. So when you're called, but the oracle's saying when you get to that place where you're called, you know, you're ready, then everything will run smoothly. But you got to get whatever it is that's been making you stagnant. You got to face that inner shadow, have a conversation with it, bring it into the light, and then move forward.